Hello? Hello? Hey, who's there? Who's watching? Identify yourselves. Rob and Chris. And oh my goodness, it's Borlinda. Well, hello, Borlinda. How are you? What's everybody doing tonight? I went out to Shoppers Drug Mart earlier, and it was like shopping in Soviet Russia. They had a security guy there making sure... Oh no, it's an FMV cutscene. There's trouble. Yeah, I was at Shoppers Drug Mart today, and it was like shopping in Soviet Russia. They had a little security guy there making sure everybody was 2 meters apart. And I didn't even look at toilet paper and sanitizer and those kind of things. I just kind of stuck to the essentials. You know, things like beef jerky and potato chips. And... yeah, it was really weird, and we went to another store that I won't mention, and I kind of had an anxiety attack in line, so I just bolted. Couldn't wait in line. They were only letting people in the store, a few people at a time, and I just bolted. How are you and Jen holding up? Jen's holding up really good, honestly. She's being really proactive and kind of planning out what she's going to be doing to get out of the house, which is oftentimes just going for a walk. Robert Daniels, no, they were not out of pork rinds. They were just in a spot that I wasn't expecting. And Rob, I ate and finished an entire bag of pork rinds already. An entire bag. Thanks for asking. How's everybody else doing? Like, leave some comments. Let me know how you're doing. How are you coping? What are you doing to pass the time? Let me know. Still too hot. Too hot! I do need some help. I don't have any content for tomorrow. I've never let it go this long before. I've got, what, 4.5 hours to come up with tomorrow's Sunday Chuckle. I have nothing. Somebody send me an idea. Send me something. Michael Morwood, are you there? Chris Sarr, watching you. That's a great Kiss song. Limping like you do, and I'm watching you. Oh, oh, Brant Ford Mayer, you need to find a Costco friend to get your pork rinds. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Shoppers Drug Mart has pork rinds. No issue. I ain't going anywhere near Costco, and I'm not going to ask any quote-unquote friends to go to Costco, because if I asked them to go to Costco, they wouldn't be my friend anymore. So that's not going to happen. Rob Daniels, pretty good. I've been keeping up on my shows. 80s month is just about done. Well, good for you, man. I saw your post earlier that you're still allowed to do your show in the studio, but I guess any guests would have to be in on Skype. Michael Morwood, Costco has full plastic drums of pork rinds. Okay, good to know, Michael. However, I don't plan on hoarding pork rinds. I don't want to be known as that guy. Michael works at Costco. God bless him, man. The guy, you got to be a soldier to work at Costco right now. On last night's live stream, I had a buddy from the States named Stone Soliani, and he works in a grocery store. Hey, thank you, Greg Sinclair. Cheers. Hope you're doing okay. Last night on the live stream, I had Stone Soliani. He works at a grocery store in Ohio, I think, and I think he's at the end of his wits, man. It sounds like he's just, he's had it. He's had it. Brant Ford Mayor, big tub of pork rinds for $10. Hubby loves them. Okay, great. I ate one bag. I don't need more pork. Do I look like I need more pork rinds? Everybody. No, I do not. Robert Daniels, had they started issuing tasers yet? Jesus. So it's only a matter of time, my friend. It's only a matter of time. Actually, my mom and dad went to Stanley Park Mall yesterday afternoon, and they said there was cop cars and fire trucks, and both Walmart and Zehrs were blocked off. You couldn't get into either store yesterday afternoon. Anybody know the story behind that? Apparently it was not on the news, so they don't know what happened. Anybody who knows the story, just leave it in the comments below, right down there. And by all means, please, if you have any ideas for me for a Sunday Chuckle tomorrow, please just send them to me, because I got nothing. I have 4.5 hours to come up with some content tomorrow. If I can't come up with any content tomorrow, then I won't post anything tomorrow, which I don't want to do. I rarely miss a Sunday, so I got 4.5 hours. Somebody leave me an idea in the comments below. And if you know what happened at Stanley Park Mall yesterday, leave a comment below. Because like I said, there's a fire truck and some cops, and they wouldn't let anybody into either Walmart or Zehrs. And they're on opposite sides of the mall, so I don't know what the story was. Leave a comment below. Oh, Chris Sarr. Well, that answers that question. Thanks, buddy. The fire alarm was going off. So, false alarm, perhaps. Teenage pranksters, perhaps. But it was just a fire alarm. Okay, well, that's a... Hey, simple answers are the easy ones. Scott Carson's in the house. Do the bum face. What do you mean by that? Do you mean when I draw the line down the middle of my forehead to make it look like a bum? Is that what you're referring to? I gotta see if Eric Litwiller's online.
I got an idea for you.
What's that?
First hit of the season. First hit of the season for your...
No.
Make
Good.
fun of me.
No. Sorry, Jen was trying to offer me a suggestion for a Sunday Chuckle, and I'm not feeling it. That's all. Anybody, Sunday Chuckle ideas? I got no content for tomorrow. I never let it go this late. Lisa, someone tried to take toilet paper from Zehrs but pay for it at Walmart. What the fuck, man? Like, my mind is blowing right now. My mind is blowing. Why? People are nuts. People are nuts. Okay, so here's a request from Scott Carson. He wants to see the bum face, so here it goes. The idea is, I draw a line down the middle of my head, like this. And it kind of looks like a bum, if you use your imagination. So there you go. Scott Carson, thank you for requesting that. Trevor! Talk about why Saga is better than Styx. Trevor, here's my Saga. It's still sealed, man. I haven't played it yet. Do you remember me talking about buying this? I still haven't played it. I said I was going to save it for a rainy day, and now that Amazon's kind of shut down for a while, I think I've arrived at that rainy day. What else we got? We got 8 people watching. Come on, what we got? Leave some questions. Leave some questions below and suggestions for tomorrow's Sunday Chuckle. I don't have any ideas for tomorrow's Sunday Chuckle. I have no content lined up for tomorrow. Play it live tomorrow, Lisa says. I could. Yeah, I could. That's. Hey, Tyler Weber, what's going on, my buddy? What's going on, my friend? Tyler Weber in the house. He looks kind of like Cousin It in real life. I'm not sure if he has a face. He could be Slash's son, for all I know. Tyler Weber in the house. Why not? We're all bored as F. You said it, Lisa. We are all bored as F. I just got back. You know what? It looks beautiful outside, but it's so fucking cold. I just got back from a walk with Jen. And it's too cold to go out for any extended period of time. 15 minutes and my nuts were nutsicles. Little nutsicles. I'm going to open up the window here and see. It's not as bad as it was this morning. Trevor Girdot. Do the first 3 of those. What do you mean do the first 3 of those? Like listen to them, write them up? What do you mean do them? I'll get to it eventually, buddy. I'll get to it eventually. I don't think we're in any rush here at this point, are we? Brantford Mayor, the joys of becoming a hermit. Yeah. Well, I've got lots of practice with being a hermit. I've got enough stuff to keep me busy, that's for sure. I did an unboxing for my William Shatner action figure this morning. But from certain angles, he looks more like Sean Connery. Right, Miss Moneypenny? In person, he looks a lot like Shatner. He looks really, really good in person. On camera, not so good. Trevor Girdot. Trevor, I've already talked about that. It was one of the earliest posts. I might be able to make that work, yeah. I mean, it was kind of memorable. Basically, what Trevor is saying is, you know that show Hot Ones? Where the guys eat the hot wings, the habanero pepper and all that stuff. We basically did that to a guy at work at a staff party back in about, what would you say, 97? I think about 97, 98. He had this guy that worked there. His name was Matt Boutros. And Matt Boutros used to boast that he could eat anything hot because he's Egyptian. So Trevor said, bet you can't eat a habanero pepper. And Boutros was like, yeah, whatever. Sounds easy. Sure, I'll eat it. So we had the staff party. Somebody acquired a habanero pepper, which is just a tiny little thing. It looks like a little cherry tomato. It doesn't look very threatening. I can't remember if it was Trevor or Tom who picked up the habanero, but it's time for Boutros to put his money where his mouth is, and he took a little bite out of it, and he's smiling, and then it hit him, and then it hit him, and yeah, Boutros regretted ever taking light of the habanero pepper. That was a very memorable staff party. I remember Tom Morwood also took a bite of the habanero pepper and some chicken bones. Fucking chicken bones he ate. You know, wings, bone and all. And yes, Michael, I am talking about your Uncle Tom Morwood. Habanero pepper and chicken bones. Chicken bones. That's your uncle. I'm just going to plug in my phone here, so just don't mind the camera. There we go. Michael Morwood, got lots of upcoming concerts. Could I try my hand at reviews? Absolutely, man. I think I've been hoping you would ask that question. Please. I don't get out to concerts nearly as much as you do. And I guess we'll see if your upcoming concerts happen or not. But yes, please do. I'd really appreciate that if anybody who goes to concerts would contribute a concert review. That's huge for me. So, yeah. Do it, Michael Morwood. Do it! And ask Tom about eating the chicken bones. One time we were at the Hoother, and Tom ordered chicken wings. Trevor, I hope you remember this. Tom ordered chicken wings, and he kept all the bones in a jar, and then he stole the jar from the Hoother, saying, I'm going to make soup. I'm going to make soup out of this. I'm going to make soup. I'm going to make soup. He was very drunk that night. Those were good times. The drunker Tom got, the better the night in general. What else you got? Come on, leave me some comments. Let's go. Let's see if I can invite anybody here who isn't here. What you got going on, Michael? Shoot me some questions. Give me some more ideas for my Sunday post. I could do the Boutros story again. I could. I'm just scrolling through Facebook now and seeing what you guys are up to. Ryan Mitchell is working on a Jackson Pollock puzzle. It looks like a nightmare. It looks like an absolute nightmare. Good luck with that puzzle. James McCuddy in Scotland finished planting his vegetable patch in his backyard. He was showing us videos earlier. We got Robert Daniels posting memories, blah, blah, blah. Michael Morwood, ha ha ha, he's stolen so many beer glasses. Doesn't surprise me. I was there for a few of them. Let's see what else we got going on. Department of Justice wants to suspend your constitutional rights during the coronavirus. Oh, that's nice to know. Kenny Rogers, of course. Rest in peace, Kenny. Here's a good meme. I got to say the meme makers have been on point. For those weddings canceled during the lockdown, God is giving you a second chance to think about it. That's funny. I like that. The meme makers have been on point. Here's a good one. With every daily press conference, I'm pretty sure I lose IQ points. That's a good one. Blah, 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 blah. Not much going on Facebook today. Well, there's a Portland strip club starts curbside food service delivery called Boober Eats. That's interesting. And then it shows a naked girl delivering the food. Boober Eats. Entrepreneurial. Not bad. So what else we got going on, guys? What do we got? Let's see if I can invite some more people. At this point, I don't know who's left. Here we go. How was your day, guys? How was your Saturday? At this point, I guess we can consider Saturday over. So, how was your Saturday? Mine was shitty like this coffee. No, it wasn't shitty. Just kind of a nothing day. I didn't really do too much. Went out and bought some... Yeah. Well, it's looking pretty quiet out there. If nobody wants to shoot me any questions or do anything, I might go sit in front of the TV and watch Big Bang Theory. God help me. Come on, shoot me some questions. Come on, tell me stuff. Tell me stuff. What's going on? What the fuck's going on? I was saying earlier, I need some help coming up with ideas for tomorrow's Sunday Chuckle post. Trevor gave me one idea. I've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but, you know, I could do it again. Anybody got anything else? Shoot me some ideas. If you don't, I'll be forced to play you these awful Uncle Meat clips again. You don't want that.
For him, John Brown. You think I'm kidding? His name is really John Brown. John Brown. Everybody loves John Brown.
You heard this one before, John Michael?
Brown. He's a poor man's Jon Snow. John Brown.
He went to the
Public access, Jon Snow.
He's
John Brown. You think I'm lying, but his name's really John Brown. Returns on my dildos.
Yeah. But don't worry, they're all
John Brown
dildos.
John Brown. Every John Brown dildo has been inside of John Brown.
John Brown tested. John Brown approved.
John Brown.
Ah, that's classic. That's classic. I'm going to overuse that. Here's another one. Here's a good one.
You know, he does have a lot of really weird made-up sounding catchphrases. Wubba lubba dub dub, Ricky ticky taffy bitch, and that's the way the news goes. Hit the sack, Jack. Uh-oh, somersault, jump, AIDS. And that's why I always say, shum,
Shum, shum, shlippity-dop.
grab. taste bad. No jumping in the sewer. Burger time. Rubber baby bunkers. Lick, lick, lick my balls. Yeah, say that all the
All right, we got to give me some feedback, guys. I'm performing to nothing here. Give me something. I'm looking for more people to invite. Where are you people? Where's Frank Thoms? Where are you, Frank Thoms? I'm here with legendary film director Werner Herzog. Werner, welcome to the show. You were just on The Mandalorian. Welcome back to Earth. What's it like being home?
I've dwelt among the humans. Their entire culture is built around their penises. It's funny to say they're small. It's funny to say they're big. I've been at parties where humans have held bottles, pencils, thermoses in front of themselves and called out, "Hey, look at me, I'm Mr. So-and-so Dick. I've got such and such for a penis." I never saw it fail to get a laugh.
Oh, that's good stuff. Close the window, it's getting a little cold. Come on, give me something to work with, you people. Give me something to work with. Give me some comments. Tell me what's going on. I'm seeing nothing. Oh, there's some... Oh, shit, there were comments. Oh, fuck. What happened? I missed all these comments. Are you a fan of the Nuge? Big Bang Theory. Tell me... Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck. I missed all these comments. Okay, I gotta get caught up here. Shit. Are you a fan of the Nuge? Yes, I am. Ooh, Big Bang Theory. Not that good. Tell me about your expensive action figure collection. Okay, here's Kirk. Got Kirk here. I did an unboxing of Kirk this morning. I was saying that he looks a bit more like Sean Connery than William Shatner on camera. Thoughts on old singers that can't cut it live anymore? Fuck them. Internet problems. Yeah, something. Okay, see you, Sam. Sorry, I fucked all this up. Shit. I didn't realize that there were comments down below and I couldn't see anything. Okay, so sorry about that. Shall we reset? Shitty coffee, shitty night. What did you do today? Somebody shoot me a comment below. What did you do today? And hopefully I won't miss all the comments this time. And yes, that was Rick and Morty. I'm glad you enjoyed the Rick and Morty. Fuck you do today, somebody. Oops, shoot me. Yeah, Scott, you know what? Like, singers that can't just cut it anymore. We're all guilty. Ian Gillan could be one of those singers, right? Like, we could easily say Ian Gillan is one of those singers that can't cut it anymore. So, my blanket fuck 'em statement is a bit not necessarily accurate. I guess if they can get it done enough. I don't know, man. Why do you ask these more difficult questions, Scott? Why can't you ask simple questions like, what is your favorite color? Why can't you ask me that? Singers that can't cut it anymore. That is such a tough question because I really want Deep Purple to make something good this time out. And Ian Gillan is undoubtedly one of those singers who struggles these days. Robert Daniels watched YouTube videos. Yeah, me too, man. There wasn't much else to do. I don't know if you watch a guy called Todd in the Shadows. He has a show called Train Records. And he covered a Beach Boys album today. The one album they did without Brian Wilson. And that was a good video. It was very interesting. The Mike Love Beach Boys album with John Stamos. Michael Morwood went to work, played Call of Duty, ate, lived in the dream. Well, hey, man, you're out there on the front lines going to work. You got to do what you got to do to keep the people in supply. So, you know, kudos to you. Takes guts to go to work these days, as weird as that is. Rob Daniels, looked for public domain movies to play on my Wednesday live stream. Yeah. Thinking ahead, getting content going. Yes. Scott Carson. More difficult is better for good chat. I'm a challenging intellectual. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, Rob Daniels, One Hit Wonderland. Yes, so you know who I'm talking about, Todd in the Shadows. Check out the Beach Boys video that he just posted. It's quite good. Certainly doesn't paint Mike Love in a flattering light, but you know, I don't think there are legions of Mike Love fans out there the same way that there are Brian Wilson fans. Scott Carson making my life difficult. I'm trying to think of another singer that you might say can't cut it anymore late in the career. I guess it remains to be seen, but maybe Brian Johnson remains to be seen, right? What else we got? We got any more comments? No, not yet. Richard Marx. Yeah, what was the deal with Richard Marx and that album? They were talking about something to do with Richard Marx on that album. I can't remember what his association with it was. I follow Richard Marx on Twitter. He's cool. He really hates Trump. That's really all it takes these days to keep me going on Twitter. Let's see, I got some comments here on my Aussie reviews. Blah, 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 blah. My mother left comments. Her favorite Kenny Rogers songs are Lucille, The Gambler, and Coward of the Country. Sorry, Ruby is what she meant to say, not Lucille. Ruby. Those are my mom's favorite Kenny Rogers songs. Scott Carson said earlier, Deep Purple have aged fairly gracefully at least. Yes, you are true. You are true. Robert Daniels, Genesis comeback. Ah, man. Okay, so Tom Morwood was saying earlier that why does Genesis need to come back when Steve Hackett is basically doing Genesis, right? So I got to go with my buddy Tom Morwood on that. The Genesis comeback is unnecessary since Steve Hackett is doing the Genesis thing already. I think it's nice to see the guys doing it again, but Phil Collins it looks really frail. I don't know if he won't be playing drums. I'm assuming. Hey, Frank Thumbs is in the house. I'm assuming he won't be playing drums. So to me, it's kind of a non-starter. Michael Morwood says that Mick Jagger is sounding rough live. Is he? I wouldn't know. I haven't paid any attention to the Stones in years. They really don't do anything for me at this point. Tyler Weber, favorite album of 2020 so far. What's been out? I don't know. Not Ozzy. That's for sure. I'm trying to think of what's come out in 2020 so far. I'm going to Google my own site here and see if I've written reviews from any 2020 releases. Okay, Stormforce, Age of Fear is the best album of 2020 so far. Hands down. Scott Carson, Genesis comeback. Speaking of singers, Colin sounded weak the last time they got together. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. That's a real shame because I think Phil Collins is truly one of the greatest singers of the 80s in particular. He was, on the radio, he was ubiquitous on the radio. He was such a force commercially in the 80s. So that is kind of sad to me. Rob Daniels, check out a group called Big Big Train, Genesis-style band. Noted, my friend, noted. I've already got all the Marillion albums, so I've got that part of Genesis' sound covered. Michael Morwood, the new Anvil album. I gave up on Anvil a few albums ago, man, because they're all sounding the same. I think truly with Anvil, if you buy one Anvil album, you've got them all. So, sorry, I have not heard the new one, which is called Legal at Last. I have not heard it. I'm not that interested. Stormforce, I'm sure, would kick the Anvil album's ass anyway, just out of being something fresher and newer. Unless you like the post-Steve Hackett stuff, says Trevor. Yeah, I like that shit. That's a good point, Trevor. That is a good point. Yeah, I'm going to put a like on that. That is a good point. Robert Daniels, Colin's heyday is very much behind him. Tyler Weber, Genesis fans that don't listen to Peter Gabriel would be pumped to see them live. Yeah, for sure, man. Like I'm not pissing on it by any means. If you want to go see Genesis, absolutely do it. I'm sure they will put on a great show. I'm just not sure what it'll be. Two guys from Genesis playing music, one guy from Genesis not playing drums, and a whole shitload of backing musicians. I guess, is it Phil Collins' son that's playing drums? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be a great show, but I got to go with my buddy Tom Morwood on that one. If Tom says Steve Hackett is already doing the Genesis stuff perfectly, then I don't need to see Genesis doing it. Michael Morwood, new Annihilator album is pretty wicked. I have not heard the new Annihilator album, and I didn't know they had a new album. Tyler Weber, not for me though. That's cool, man. That's cool. If there's a future, you can go see Genesis. If there's no future, you can sit here and fucking listen to me talk. Oh yeah. Woo! Saw Collins back in the 90s at the ACC. He was awesome, says Rob. I remember you talking about that back then. That was a big deal. I mean, he was huge. He was huge. Not ACC, Skydome. Yeah, Skydome. The original. Oh, man. What, that opened in 1989, so I guess 1990. Yeah, that would be within its first year, probably. That'd be cool, man. That would be cool. Who else we got here online? I think I see some Frank Thoms. Frank Thoms, are you here? You got anything to add to this discussion, Frank Thoms? Fuck the Rogers Center, says Rob Daniels. Fuck the Rogers Center. It's the Skydome. It's what it is. It's the Skydome. What did Jen say? It's the Skydome, says Jen. It's the Skydome. Yeah, she gets a say because she was there on the first day. So there you go. Do we have any more questions? Do we have any more comments? It will always be the Skydome, says Rob Daniels. Yes. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I think my first trip to the Skydome was 91, summer of 91. We went to see the Jays and went to the Hard Rock Cafe. Frank Thoms! Frank Thoms! Come on, man, shoot me a comment. Shoot me a question. Shoot me some Fred Flintstone's wisdom. Frank Thoms. Best venue for live music. Well, that's a good question, Rob. I don't know. But I think for sound, I prefer a small venue. Small venue always just seems to sound better to me. I don't know what the best venue is for live music, though. I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. Haven't been out to enough of them to comment. What else we got going what else do we have going on out there? Does anybody know how to flip my mirror thing here so it says Led Zeppelin instead of Del Neples? Does anybody know how to fix that? I've been trying. Chris Thuss. Are you planning on buying the Japanese import of Justin Bieber, Changes, and reviewing it? Lol, it actually exists. Well, since you asked, we're going to look it up on CD Japan right now. Justin Bieber. We're going to look it up. He says it's called Changes. I don't know how he knows that. I wouldn't have known that. Oh, Jesus. He looks all gangsta on the front cover. Changes. Deluxe edition with DVD, limited edition, Japan bonus track, Yummy, Summer Walker remix with an HMV bonus postcard. Jesus God. How much does that cost? $27 US for that. The answer is no, Chris Thuss. The answer is no. There's no chance that that's going to happen. Michael Morwood saw King Gizzard at the Rebel. Really liked it there. London Music Hall is great too. Good to know. Noted. Rob Daniels, I was going to ask about that. Looks weird. Very different topic away from music. What's your favorite collectible you currently own? Oh boy. That's a tough one, man. I got the Mandalorian action figure a few days ago. It's a really great figure. It's not like it's a super valuable one, but it's a great figure. He comes with his pulse rifle, and he comes with a little handgun. So I'm going to say, since you're saying currently own, I'm going to say the Mandalorian right now. It's a great little figure. Chris Thuss, he knows about the Bieber album because he lives in a house of girls. That's true. He does. He's got 2 daughters. So that's why Chris Thuss knows about the new Justin Bieber album. And knew there was a Japanese import with a bonus track. Again, for those interested, the Japanese bonus track is Yummy, the Summer Walker remix. The Japanese disc also comes with a DVD and an HMV postcard, all for $27 US. Thank you, Chris Thuss, for helping me figure that out. Rob Daniels, Japan is always good for artists. Just ask Gowan. Yeah, ask Gowan. Ask Styx. Ask Mr. Big. Ask just about any metal band. They do really well over in Japan. They really appreciate our artists over there. Rob Daniels with a great question. Great question. Best album not released in North America. You know, in this day and age, that's something a little bit more scarce, right? Because there's been reissues of things that were not issued in America originally. I could say one of those Australian AC/DC albums, like Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. It's quite different from the American one. You could almost consider it a album to itself that's unique from the other one. But I am actually going to answer this question with Whitesnake, Restless Heart. It came out around, I'm thinking 97. David Coverdale released that album in the UK only, and he was forced to release it under the name, I believe, Whitesnake featuring David Coverdale, or David Coverdale featuring Whitesnake, something like that. Never released it in North America. It's very different. I believe he recorded it as a solo album, and the record company forced him to add the Whitesnake tag to it somehow. But it's got some great tunes on there. Woman Trouble Blues is a killer tune. Not Fade Away was another one. Too Many Tears. It's a great album. And maybe, I know David Coverdale's doing a good job of releasing deluxe editions, and maybe that album will finally see a North American release with all the B-sides, because there were some single B-sides that went with it too. So great question from Rob Daniels. Cheers to Rob. If my Scottish accent's pissing anybody off, I can drop it. You guys had supper yet? You guys eaten your dinner yet? What have you eaten? What are you guys having for supper tonight? We're having tacos. We're having tacos. We're having tacos. Cheers, Rob. We're having tacos. Ooh, Jesus. McDonald's closes the Hamilton location after an employee tests positive for coronavirus. Jesus, God. This is getting freaky, man. This is getting really freaky. Oh, geez, here's another one. COVID-9 closes all holodecks. Shows Reginald Barkley. He's not able to get onto the holodeck there and fantasize about Deanna Troi. Shame there. What else we got? Got any more comments or questions? Tyler Weber, homemade chicken noodle soup for supper tonight. Well done, sir. Well done. That sounds great. It's cold, and homemade chicken noodle soup is just what you need. Just what you need. Has anybody got... just looking for some people to invite. Oh, shit. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. There we go. Just looking for people to invite. Rob Daniels, ouch. Yeah, I don't have the greatest setup here. I tried doing live streaming from the laptop, but it was not working for me. The interface is shit. Tyler Weber, fave Zeppelin album. Now, that was a question I had on this morning's live stream, and I will give you the same answer that I gave this morning. Houses of the Holy with Physical Graffiti as number 2. Eric Lutwiller commented this morning that his favorite is actually Presence, which I give him big respect for that answer. Frank Tom's omelet, cheese, and asparagus for supper. That sounds awesome. Fuck, man. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm going over to Frank Tom's house tonight. I'm going to steal some of his omelet, cheese, and asparagus. And Tyler Weber's favorite Zeppelin album is 3, and I got no issue with your answer, man. That's a great answer. I love Led Zeppelin 3. It's different. I love acoustic music. I love it. But you asked me my favorite, and my favorite is Houses of the Holy. So, yeah. Chris Thus, best album cover ever. Ooh. I don't think anybody asked that question yet. It's a good one. That's a good one. The first album cover that came to mind as soon as you said that question was Brain Salad Surgery by ELP. Look it up. H.R. Giger did the artwork for Brain Salad Surgery, and it looks like a I don't know, it looks like something out of the Alien movies. Trevor, Darkness, coming to Detroit May 17th. I doubt it, buddy. I doubt it. My anxiety levels right now are like this. I mean, I don't know if you were on earlier in this live stream when I was talking about going outward earlier today. Jen and I hit up a store on Fairway Road, and they were only letting in people one at a time. And my anxiety just went through the roof, and I had to bail. So whatever we were going to buy at that store, we're just going to buy online. Oh, Tyler Weber. I guess that's your answer for the best album cover ever. Dio, Holy Diver. It's a good cover, man. That is a good cover. A little corny, though. Admittedly, a little corny. I stick with my Brain Salad Surgery answer. I stick. What else we got? What else we got, ladies and gentlemen? Do you believe in rock and roll? We've beamed down to the planet below. There's no sign of intelligent life. This is a good figure, by the way, for 20 bucks. Not bad. Not bad. Voivod! Voivod! Rob really liked it when I did my coronavirus videos the other day. And I was going, Voivod! Oh, shit. Here we go. You know, it's been a weird day for me. I live streamed last night till midnight. Then I watched Rob Daniels live stream till about 12:30. I went to bed. Woke up around 6:30, and I've been feeling really wonky ever since, just because lack of sleep. This coronavirus is kind of just knocking my schedule out. Rob Daniels, I was going to ask you if the Voivod thing drove the cat crazy. I imagine it does. Tyler Weber, what's my most prized vinyl? Well, that's a great question. And most of my vinyl is right over there, so I can actually grab one and show you. I have a really cool Alice Cooper that is, it's not old, but it's, let me go get it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find the Alice Cooper vinyl right now. I'll look it up. I can tell you the exact title. Alice Cooper. Where the fuck is it? I have reviewed this, I swear. Maybe I haven't reviewed it. It's the live album that he did with the original lineup. It was a Record Store Day exclusive, and it's like $100, but it's fucking great. I love listening to the actual music on it. Rather, I've never even opened. I've only opened it enough to pull out the record. I haven't opened the gatefold. Followed by CD. CD would be Marillion Rochester, which was issued only to people who donated to their tour fund in 1998. That CD cost me about $300. It's autographed by the band. I'm not going to run around and try to find this stuff. It's just my collection is not organized right now. The Alice Cooper isn't alphabetized where it should be, and I don't know. Rob Daniels, for me, it's the green vinyl Silent Running soundtrack. I'm going to look up the Silent Running soundtrack just so I can see what we are looking at. Oh, wow, what a cool cover. Joan Baez sang on it. Huh. That's cool, Rob. And green vinyl. That's cool, man. Yeah, that would be a prize. Anyway, I'm sorry I can't find the record to show you, but I think it was Alice Cooper Live at the AstroTurf, might have been the name of that record. It was issued in, I think, 12 different colors. I'm just trying to find... Could have sworn I talked about this somewhere, but I can't find it on my own website, so I couldn't have. Anyway, it's a great record. Original lineup of the Alice Cooper Band. Rob found that Silent Running soundtrack locally too. That's awesome. We're gonna miss record stores right now. I am glad I have stuff like this sitting around that's still sealed, that I can crack open brand new and enjoy as if I've just received it. I've got a lot like that, and I think I'm going to be needing it in the coming days, weeks, and months. I'm going to be doing some unboxing videos as we go do these live streams. I have some pretty cool stuff to unbox, including a Metallica Master of Puppets box set. You know, I say I've been saving these things for a rainy day, so here we are. Here we are. Rob Daniels, brick and mortar stores are needed. Yeah, they are. They are. Just being out there today, Rob, I just felt like thanking every single person that was working. I really did. It just seems like, at least the message from the media is that you're taking your life in your own hands by going outside. You know, And I feel like these people are brave for showing up to work, and I'm glad that guys like Michael Morwood and these guys are going to work and keeping the world moving. Rob Daniels, I miss Sam the Record Man. Yes, we were talking about that place yesterday. I have a lot of happy memories. Bob Shipper used to. I rarely got to Sam the Record Man unless I was with Bob Shipper, because he drove, right? And it was the kind of thing where if you went to Sam the Record Man, you didn't just leave with a record or a tape. You had to leave with something that you could only find at Sam the Record Man. And sometimes you had so many choices in front of you that you had to walk around the store again and again and again and again just to figure out which is the one record that you're going to leave with. And I can remember walking in there with Bob Shipper one time, and I bought, I think it was a Whitesnake 12-inch single and the Judas Priest 12-inch single for Painkiller. And the guy behind me going, I can't believe he spent $40 on 2 records. That seems like fucking bird feed for records now. $40 for 1 record now. Tyler Weaver, mine is a local album from the 70s called Midnight Express in Session. Never heard of that, man. Ooh, Rob Daniels found a lot of long box CDs there. Yeah. I only ever had 2 long box CDs, and I kept the boxes for years, but finally threw them out at one point because keeping a box, you know. Anyway, the one thing I would like, though, is when Spinal Tap released the Break Like the Wind album in 1992, they did an extra long box just to be worse for the environment. I would like to get Break Like the Wind with the extra long box still sealed. That would be a holy grail item. Don't know how much I'd want to pay for that, but that is something I would want for sure. What else we got? What do we got going on here? That's all the comments for now. Oh, yeah. Transformers the movie soundtrack is super rare, Rob. I really want the remastered CD with all the bonus tracks, but it's just too expensive for my taste right now. I did manage to get an original CD, probably the same one that you have, with the Spectre General songs on there. But that is a hard soundtrack to get, my friend. The Transformers the movie, for sure. Hard to find, absolutely. Well, I'm not sure what I hate to say it. I don't think I'm going to have a Sunday chuckle tomorrow. It's 8:15. I got a little over 4 hours to come up with some content, and I got nothing. So no Sunday chuckle tomorrow, I suppose. No big deal. I can't laugh every day, I suppose. Somebody suggested that instead of a Sunday chuckle, I go live tomorrow morning, which I probably will anyway. I might take a break here. Might go do something else. I find that this is very tiring, live streaming for a long period of time, because I don't stop and I don't take commercial breaks. That's not a shot at Rob Daniels at all, by the way. But it is kind of tiring, man. Like, and I haven't slept well, so I think I might just take a break here, and we'll come back to it a bit later. Yeah, let's reconvene a little bit later on this evening, okay, guys? Thanks for checking out the live stream, and rock and roll. We will reconvene a bit later. Ciao. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Tyler Weaver in the house. Hey, who's watching? Oh, fucking hell! Is that you, Meat? Just watched the Beast Boys train wrecked. Yeah, that was good, man. What's his face? Mike Love kind of sounds like a bit of an asshole, doesn't he? Hey, Rob, how you doing? We were just talking about Todd in the Shadows, the Beach Boys, Summer in Paradise, I think is the name of the album. It's the one with the whale on the cover. The one that I could never sell. The one I could never get rid of, no matter how hard I tried. Interestingly, Todd in the Shadows pointed out that if you want to buy it now, they got it like for $100 on Amazon, which is insane. It's insane, $100. I used to sell it for $6. I'm gonna invite some people to this thing. Yeah, Rob, it's really good. And according to Todd in the Shadows, I don't know. He found one copy on Amazon for $100, but it's like you remember The Beat Goes On Bargain Bin. They always had like a whole bunch of copies of that, and they're usually about $6, and nobody would buy it. Nobody would buy it. But you know what? I guess Kokomo has a bit of a notorious reputation. I don't mind Kokomo. I whatever, you know. It was big in the 80s. I thought it was a good 80s song. I mean, it was a huge comeback for the Beach Boys. Yeah, what can I say? Kokomo, man. Diet Canada Dry this evening. I only have one coffee left, so I'm saving it. I'm saving it. How did your day go, everyone? How does your Saturday go? Jen just made some tacos. Jen made some tacos. Tacos. We have Chris Thuss in the house. Chris Thuss? Chris Tuss? I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, actually. It's either Toos or Tuss. He's Dutch. Take a shit on that shirt, says Uncle Meat. He hates Motley Crue. Uncle Meat hates Motley Crue. Robert Daniels, today was quiet and weird. Hey, Rob, I just, real quick, just give my regards to Dorothea and the good news that you got. I'm really happy for you, but of course, Dorothea needs to really be really extra careful right now. So just, give her my regards, and God bless you too. All the love in the world to you too. LeBrain is wearing toilet paper. Yes, Uncle Meat with the winning comment. LeBrain is wearing toilet paper. But, Uncle Meat, does that not go with my bum face? Is that not what that is suitable for? Thank you, Rob. I really, you guys have been so supportive of us in the past, and I'm so happy for you guys in your recent good news. So, yeah, rock and roll, Rob. We have Eric Litwiller with the comment. I saw the Shout at the Devil tour. I was young. That was at least acceptable. Which is ironic since Accept opened. So you've seen Udo Dirkschneider live. That's pretty cool. Eric Litwiller has a pretty impressive history of rock concerts. He's seen everybody, I think. So Eric, did you at that time like Motley Crue, or did you go to see Accept at that time? Let me know in the comments. Accept also opened for Kiss on the Lick It Up tour months later. Really? Wow. Same set. So Accept were really happening at the time, I guess, eh? I guess that would have been around Balls to the Wall. Crue. I was young and dumb. Here's something funny about that. What you just said is that John Corabi, who took over the lead singing duty from Vince Neil in 1992, was in a band called Scream, and their contribution to the Encino Man soundtrack was a track called Young and Dumb. She's so young and dumb, young and dumb. At the end of the song, Corabi goes, "Hey, honey, what kind of car do you drive?" And she answers, "I think it's a blue one." I swear to God, I have the track in my collection, Young and Dumb by The Scream, featuring John Corabi, future lead vocalist of Motley Crue. Let's see. Eric Litwiller says, "I'm old and dumb." You know what? Okay, here's the thing. What?
So are you.
You just called meat dumb? I don't know. You said something to piss off Jen. She just called you dumb.
No, I was saying you.
Me?
Husband.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if she's calling me dumb. John Corabi played the chainsaw a few years ago. The only people in the crowd were bar staff and hookers. How do you know that? Were you asking them what they did for a living? Did you solicit them for business? What else is going on? See if I can invite some more people. Sebastien Xavier Munier was supposed to be here. He told me to tell him when I was going online again, but I don't see Sebastien Xavier Munier anywhere. Kelly Cox, how you doing, Kelly? Oh, sweetheart, I miss you so much. Do you remember going to Tim Hortons at Borden and hanging out there for 2 hours? Oh, the old days. Can't hang out anywhere now. There's nowhere to go. Oh, jeez. Anyway, we're just live streaming. I'm taking questions. Anybody else got some questions for LeBrain? Hey, Chris Sarr in the house. I am drinking Diet Canada Dry this evening. Diet Canada Dry. What else? What do we got going on this evening? Robert Daniels, you can hang out here. Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. I would be extra careful if I did. I'm going to go see my parents this week, see what they're up to. My dad's going to try to go grocery shopping during seniors hour tomorrow morning. So, Saturday night. Eric Litwiller, do you own any Wishbone Ash? No, I don't own any Wishbone Ash. I will say something again that I have said a couple of times. I'm 47 years old, and I've only begun my exploration into rock music. Wishbone Ash is the third band to come up in these live streams that I really need to check out at some point. The first one was Celtic Frost. The second one was The Sweet, and now Wishbone Ash. I think we got Vu. I think we got Vu in the house. Hello, Vu. Let me know if that's you. So yeah, meat. I need to get some Wishbone Ash in my collection. I am hoping very soon. Whenever Amazon starts selling music again. Eric Litwiller, Martin Birch, come on. There is no Thin Lizzy and no Iron Maiden without Wishbone Ash. Don't be an asshole. What do you want me to say? I don't own any Wishbone Ash. How does that make me an asshole that I don't own any Wishbone Ash? Like, I'm speechless. I'm speechless, Eric. I don't know why I'm an asshole that I don't own any Wishbone Ash. I want to. I will. I haven't got there yet. What do you want me to say? Apparently I'm an asshole because I don't own any Wishbone Ash. I'm an asshole, I guess. That was a jerk comment. So scores of shit and no Wishbone Ash. Yeah. Yes, I have scores of shit and no Wishbone Ash. What the fuck, man? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? For God's sakes, you can't please this guy. You cannot please this guy. Scores of shit. Yes, I have scores of shit. Integrity. Fancy words, Mr. Meat Man. Fancy words. This is what I think of integrity. Hopefully you can hear it. I hope you heard that. I can smell that. I'm going to crack a window. Cracking a window! Where's Zach Britton this evening, Uncle Meat? Where's Sebastien Xavier Munier? Sebastien, I sent him a message. Told him that I was going live. There he is, Sebastien Xavier Mounier! It's Sebastian Xavier Mounier! He's finally here. Hello! Hello, Sebastian! And, Sebastian, Eric Litwiller is being a bit of an asshole this evening. He's getting on my case because I don't own any Wishbone Ash yet. But you've seen High Fidelity, so you know what the word yet means, right? It's like if I haven't seen The Evil Dead 2 yet. What does that mean? Yet. Okay? Yeah. Robert Daniels. Have we really reached this point? Fart jokes. Yes. Yes, we've reached that point, Rob. This is like my 5th live stream. So I'm running out of material. I am out of material. And Sebastian is playing games with Mike. That's really cool that you guys do that. Tell him I'm streaming so I can talk to Mike. No, Rob, no, you're misunderstanding. In the movie High Fidelity, the character that what's his name? The character that John Cusack played, Rob Gordon, I think was his name, was talking about the hypothetical use of the word yet, because the girl had said she hadn't slept with Ian yet. And he was trying to get his buddies to explain to him what that meant. What does the word yet mean? Like, if I said that I haven't seen The Evil Dead 2 yet, does that mean that I have an intent to see The Evil Dead 2 by using the word yet? So anyway, of course I've seen The Evil Dead 2. I've owned copies of The Evil Dead 2. I love The Evil Dead 2. But I'm more just making a High Fidelity reference. Now we got some more questions here. Blah, 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 blah. What was the last book about music or musicians that you read? By Scott Carson. Good question. Van Halen, Martin Popoff. The Van Halen book. We have Michael Morwood in the house. Thanks for coming in, Michael Morwood. And Eric Litwiller says, you haven't taken a shit on that shirt yet. When you wake up, take a shit on that shirt. Wipe it all over your face and go hunt in the jungle like Arnold in Predator. Quit saying yet. Implies intent. Right, Rob. That's my point. So when I say I haven't heard Wishbone Ash yet, which apparently Uncle Meat is sick of hearing me say the word yet, but that's what I mean. Yes, I will get to Wishbone Ash, just like I will get to The Sweet, just like I will get to Celtic Frost, just like I will get to all these bands. I will get to them. I'm just not there yet. And Uncle Meat? It's like a Ferris wheel. It's like a Ferris wheel, Uncle Meat. Those were for you. Those were for you. Special delivery for you. You bastard. All right, so who do we have watching? I see we got 9 people now. Oh, Jennifer! Jennifer with the... That's a good question. Use your illusion 1 or 2. Okay, so we were talking about this just last week. I always play Use Your Illusion 1 or 2 as a set. I don't believe in splitting them up. I believe in listening to them one after the other because it's one album. But if you have to pick between 1 or 2, Use Your Illusion 2. Eric Litwiller, are those flying fucks you are giving? Yeah, I guess those are. Take a flying fuck. Yep, there you go. No, Scott, no, it's not that I haven't heard Wishbone Ash, The Sweet, and Celtic Frost. I have heard them. I don't own them. The question was about CD ownership. Somebody asked me, I don't even think it was Meat. Somebody else asked me how many Wishbone Ash CDs I own. Anyway, fucking, you're a piece of shit, Meat. You are a piece of shit. Fucking asshole. Robert Daniels also agrees with me that Use Your Illusion 2 is the one. Scott Carson, I think, is saying Use Your Illusion 1 for the win. So we have some dissension in the heavy metal ranks here. I'm gonna do something here because I want Uncle Meat to lay off. I'm gonna do something here.
Did you like my question?
Yes. Have you got my answer yet? There you go, Meat. You fucking happy? A wise man once said, there is so much filler on the Use Your Illusions that it defines Guns N' Roses that it wasn't a single album. Yeah, that's arguable. Sure. Yeah. That is arguable, that Use Your Illusions really should have been one album. I think it's more like an album and a half, personally. You could make a pretty damn good album of it, but I think it's maybe an album and a half. I don't think it's 2 full albums, but I also don't think it's just one. Well, I'm glad that you've been a Leafs fan for 45 years. I can't stand the harassment anymore over my Motley Crue shirt, Eric. Can't stand the harassment anymore. Thank you, Jennifer. Love you, sweetie. That's passable. Lol. Argus is a goddamn stone cold classic. Fine. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to order it from Amazon? Because then I'll get it by July. What do you want me to do, you fucking asshole? Rob Daniels, why Uncle Meat? Uncle Meat is the name of a Frank Zappa album, and how he acquired that name, I don't know the story. Chris Toos, is it Toos or Tuss? I'm not sure how you pronounce your last name. It's either Toos or Tuss. Chris Tuss with the question, favorite album to listen to from start to finish. You know, I have a soft spot in my heart for the third Extreme album. It actually is a really fun album to listen to from start to finish. It's a long album. It's actually over 80 minutes long when you include all the tracks that were released on the full-length cassette version. So it's a long album, but it's a real trip. It's a journey, and I really enjoy those kind of albums. Eric Litwiller, listen to it on YouTube like a regular person. He's not letting this go. He's not letting this Wishbone Ash thing go. What is... okay, I'll tell you what, Eric. I'll tell you what. I will listen to Argus by Wishbone Ash tomorrow. Tomorrow. Does that sound okay? Tomorrow. I will do it. I promise. You have my word. It's here on this live stream. It's on the internet now. You have my word, you piece of... I am now centered and can take the next question. If I don't get questions, then I will continue to play clips of Uncle Meat singing. Okay, so Meat is answering the question as to how he got his name. LeBrain calls me Uncle Meat. My nickname has been Meat for like 28 years. And that came from David Letterman. One day at Conestoga College, I was constantly saying the line from the Letterman the night before, which was, Paul, this year for Christmas, I am giving the gift of meat. And I wouldn't stop saying it, and it went from there. And the reason I call him Uncle Meat is because I met Uncle Meat through some other people, one of which is a guy named Joe Perry. Joe Perry, that is his real name, used to refer to him as Uncle Meat. So that's what I refer to him as Uncle Meat. Scott Carson. The thing about the Use Your Illusion albums is everyone says it should be one album, but no one can agree which songs make the cut. 100% sure. True. Yes. Scott Carson, what is your favorite color? Purple. Robert Daniels. Meat was also a character from Porky's. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Porky's is on Amazon Prime, I think, and I've never seen the movie. I've been meaning to get to that eventually. And ironically, Uncle Meat's nickname, Dad's nickname, sorry, was Porky. Unrelated. True story. There you go. That's interesting. I'm learning new things about my friends. I'm learning new things about my friends. And to quote Ozzy Osbourne, I love you all! And you know what? Talking about Ozzy Osbourne, I posted my review today of the new album, Ordinary Man, which I don't particularly care for. But, you know, it's a nice looking album. The artwork's quite nice. I'm glad Ozzy's still making music. I'd rather him make music than not make music. But I just can't say that I care for the album. Here, I'll show you something neat, though. This one here is Negatron by Voivod. It's their first album with Eric Forrest on lead vocals. And if you look in the corner, it's limited. Let's see if I can get a picture of that. Can you see that? Limited to 750 copies. It's a metal case with the booklet inside, with a sticker inside, and this one also says limited to 750 pieces. And the CD, the album Negatron. That's kind of neat. I found this at the Kitchener Farmers Market when I was still dating Jen. Before we were married, we went to the farmers market with her parents, and that was something I found there. So, win. Eric Litwiller, how many hot dogs have you swallowed whole? None. 0. Chris Sarr, great t-shirt. Thanks. I only put this on because Eric Litwiller was giving me shit for my Motley Crue Theater of Pain shirt. He made me feel guilty. He shamed me. So I put this on because I cannot feel any more shame than I am right now. I feel like, in Game of Thrones, shame. 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 Robert Daniels, do you think the Ozzy album will be appreciated over time? It's a good question, Rob, because in my review, I said, think about how many times you listen to Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, and No More Tears. And compare that to how often you listen to Down to Earth, Scream, and Black Rain. I think that this album, Ordinary Man, will be listened to about as frequently as you listen to Scream and Black Rain. That's my honest opinion. I don't see any reason why later on people are going to say, oh my God, this thing was Ozzy's pinnacle of his latter-day career. I missed Seb's question, apparently. Seb, where are you? Where's your question? It's got to be way back here. Or maybe it didn't show up on my feed. I don't see Seb's question. The last comment I see with Mike. Oh, shit. There we go. Hey, Tyler Weber, look, it's LeBrain, says Uncle Meat. Tyler Weber must be in the house. How you doing, Tyler Weber? What's going on, Tyler Weber? I wish there was a way that I could see who was watching. That'd be fun. I wish I could see you, because that would be even more fun. I could, like, spy on you in your homes. Just like Judas Priest in the song Electric Eye. I'm electric spy. I'm protecting electric eye. Okay. We have Eric Litwiller. I have a question for Tyler Weber. As someone who puts on his own Sausage Fest, do you agree that this crap should not affect the Sausage Fest at all, considering it's all outside? I'm thinking that meat, unless any of us have some health issues that we're concerned about, I don't think Sausage Fest will be affected this year. Tyler Weber, did you arrange? Yeah, I switched my vinyls around. I'm trying to do my live streams a little different. So I put up my 200-gram Roll the Bones, and below that is my Rhino Records Twisted Sister Live at the Marquee limited edition. And I will say for the record that is Twisted Sister's pinnacle right there. It's all before Stay Hungry. I love Sebastian Xavier Munier. You can add other cams to this. Well, it's cool. I don't know how. I know how to invite, but I don't know how to add other cams. Sorry, Seb. I'm learning. I need your tutelage. Well, I think it's on, says Tyler Weber, unless you're sick. Yeah, I agree. And I love that Rush record too, Sebastian Xavier Munier. Eric Litwiller is sick, but not corona sick. Well, I know you're sick. I've known you for 20 years. Michael, hey, how are you doing? Saw them open for Maiden at Maple Leaf Gardens. Wow. That's killer. That is killer. Michael is, well, at least I know him as the drummer for a band that I rave about quite frequently on my site called Russian Blue. They later changed their name to Feel, and I've been praising them for quite some time on my site. I ran across them via Meat Magazine back in the early 90s, and I absolutely fell in love with a track on Raw Meat #1, and bought their first EP, bought their second EP, and then bought their album, and that was called Feel This, was the name of the album, and I still listen to them. What I would like is both of those Russian Blue demo EP cassettes to be properly issued on CD, because my cassettes don't sound so good these days. It's been a long time, and yeah. Anyway, let's see what else is going on here. Scott Carson is in the house. We have Chris Thuss back in the house, or still in the house? I'm not sure. And any new questions? No new questions. There we go. Twisted Sister's drummer did a killer drum solo. Nico didn't. You know what? My understanding is that Nico only had a drum solo on the Peace of Mind tour. That was the only time he did a drum solo, was on the Peace of Mind tour. That's my understanding of it. I may be wrong. But there is a legend, an Iron Maiden song called Mission from Airy, where Nico screwed up his drum solo live because there was a miscommunication between him and a roadie, and Nico says, "Oh, the roadie caused me to fuck up." Bruce Dickinson went backstage with a tape recorder and recorded Nico McBrain's ranting about this roadie, and they ended up releasing it as a B-side, this ranting that Nico McBrain did. And I believe the Peace of Mind tour was the only time that Nico did a drum solo. It was his first tour. Scott Carson, I'm in the house. Think I just lost contact for a moment. Yeah, my connection's fluttering in and out. Robert Daniels, I ditched cassettes a long time ago. Yes, I've talked about this before, how I got rid of like 99% of my cassettes, but I still have some things like this that I only own on cassette. This is a great album. Glenn Hughes sings lead on this album, and I only own it on cassette. There's a lot of stuff that I only own on cassette. So, yes, I have quote-unquote ditched cassette. I don't buy cassettes anymore, but I still need to be able to play them. And I'm trying to... it would be nice to get a better tape deck. Max the Axe is trying to sell me a tape deck, but I have no way of knowing... I have no way of knowing if it's any better than the one I have. Okay, yes, Michael, I think I'm just going to post some stuff that came up during these live streams as my Sunday funny tomorrow. Thanks for asking. Robert Daniels, the only one I have is the Howard the Duck soundtrack, but I can throw that out because they just reissued it on CD. Interesting. I am going to Google the Howard the Duck soundtrack so we can see what we were talking about. Now that's a movie I've not seen in a long time. A long time. Whoa, is this 3 CDs? Is that what you're talking about? Hugely expanded 3 CD release of action-packed John Barry score to the early Marvel superhero film Howard the Duck. It's on Intrada. Special Collector's Edition, $34.99. I'm assuming that's US. Original songs produced by Thomas Dolby. Additional music by Sylvester LeVay. Let me know, Rob, some details of this. Is this what you got? The 3 CD Howard the Duck? That's wild. 90 tracks? Holy smokes! Oh, and tunes from Battlestar Galactica by the Cosmic Synthesis. Thomas Dolby songs. Interesting. Interesting. You know, I'd never even given the Howard the Duck soundtrack an ounce of thought. My memories of that movie are extremely vague. I don't remember being able to make it through more than 10 minutes of that movie at a time. 3 CD release confirmed. Wow, that's cool, Rob. You could do an entire show just on that one soundtrack quite easily. That is cool. What else do we have going on tonight, folks? No hockey tonight. I like to sing along like it's a Guess Who song. No hockey tonight. Can you throw in some 90s Jerky Boys crank calls for Sunday? Hey, sure. You know what? We used to do our own crank calls in the 80s. We were there before the Jerky Boys. If only we were recording ourselves. My best friend, Rob Daniels, knows who I'm talking about. My best friend, Bob Shipper, we would get together in, this would be 86, 87. And I think it was Wednesday nights we would get together. It was whatever night my sister had dance class. And Bob Shipper would come over while my parents were out taking my sister to dance class, and we would make prank phone calls for an hour. And we thought we were hilarious. I can remember looking up names in the phone book and trying to come up with funny things to do with the names. And the one that's the most memorable to me is we looked up some guy in the phone book named Hans. So we called up Hans, and Bob Shipper sings to him, Hans, Hans, Hans and feet, I have Hans and feet. We were kids. We thought that was hilarious. We thought that was absolutely hilarious. Eric Litwiller, Todd in the Shadows talks about Dolby doing Howard the Duck soundtrack in the Blinded Bee with Science One Hit Wonderland. Okay, I will check that out. Thank you for the recommendation, Eric Litwiller. Rob Daniels, it's not a great movie. It has its moments. I want them to do a Howard the Duck reboot in the current Marvel universe. That's what I want to see. I mean, we've already seen a cameo, but we want to see now a full-on Howard the Duck reboot. Gordie Howe movie on the Terry Sawchuk CBC tonight. Hey, there we go. That sounds cool. Okay, we'll check that out. And Rob Daniels says CBC is doing movie nights in Canada. That's cool. That's cool. That'll keep Jen happy. Thanks for the suggestion. Bottom left, invite button. Says Sebastian Xavier Mounier. Yes, but who do I invite at this point? I've invited everybody. There's nobody left to invite. They're all blank because I've invited everybody. Hey Jen, apparently they're doing CBC Hockey Movie Night. Gordie Howe. On CBC Hockey Movie Night. Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I'm just right at the end of it, so I'm not...
Oh, apparently she's already watching the Gordie Howe, but thank you. Tyler Weber, have you ever listened to Blind Guardian? No, I have not listened to Blind Guardian. They're kind of Euro metal, aren't they? I think they're Euro metal. The Euro metal is like creme brulee. A little bit at a time. But I don't know if maybe we're talking about a different band. I don't know. Michael Morwood likes Blind Guardian. Not really familiar with them. Rob Daniels, yes, the comics are quite different. And that was in regards to Howard the Duck. Tyler Weber, yeah, power metal. Power metal, yeah, okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm open to whatever. I don't go seeking out power metal the way I used to. I'm getting old, man. I'm 47 years old at this point. Power metal is for the young. No, I'm just kidding. Very epic sound, says Tyler Weber. Yeah, but is it as epic as your hair? Because that's pretty epic. Rhapsody, yeah, I'm familiar with them, Michael Morwood. I am familiar with Rhapsody. You guys are up on your stuff for young fellas. I don't see Seb's comments, Eric. I'm not seeing a lot of Seb's comments. I don't know how to do this thing that he wants me to do. I don't know how to do it. He says bottom left invite button. I don't have an invite button on the bottom left. On the bottom left I have this. And it makes this. That's what I get on the bottom left. I get this. And that's not what I want. That's my bottom left. And he says that we should have a way to share the screen. Bottom left invite button. I'm trying, man. When I type in your name to invite you, nothing comes up. I get nothing. Sorry, I don't know what to do. Have you heard any Blackberry Smoke? Why is that name familiar to me? I think I read a story about them. Didn't that singer from Blackberry Smoke, didn't he audition for AC/DC after Brian Johnson had to leave the tour? I think that's my exposure to them. Because I know I've heard that name recently, and I was listening to the band recently. It's got to be with that AC/DC story. I think the guy auditioned for AC/DC, and that's where I heard that name and listened to the tunes. So yeah, I just briefly, I heard them just this week, actually. He is asking you to invite him so he can... I can't. I don't know how to invite him. I've been trying. When I push the invite button, his name isn't available to invite. So I can't invite him. I don't know what I'm doing, man. You're talking to me as if I know what I'm doing. Get that idea out of your head. If I push the invite button, which I'm doing right now, it says invite friends. Search. Seb. I'm typing Seb. No results found. So I can't invite him. I don't know what's going on. Blackberry's got a cool sound, says Tyler Weber. That's cool. I will be happy to check that out. You ever heard any Red Fang or Sleep? Yeah, I have, actually, from Tom. I've heard Sleep from Tom anyway. Red Fang, I'm not sure. Eric Litwiller. Is it about time I was right about Monster Truck? No one ever talks about them anymore. Completely irrelevant, unoriginal rock. I bet you haven't listened to any of that crap in 2 years. No comment. I'm going to ignore your comment completely. Completely. Nope. Not answering that question. He's poking the bear. Eric Litwiller is poking the bear. Scott Carson. Monster trucker dog shit. Dog shit. Hey, Scott. What do you think about Sloan? Michael Willarding, what is your favorite local radio station? Well, I have a few friends that work over at 107.5 Dave Rocks here in Kitchener. Daryl Law is a super guy. So I would have to give them a big thumbs up. But Rob Daniels, who is here on this live stream, hosts a show called Visions in Sound on local station CKWR and content too. I've just lost my connection. Rob Daniels works at local station CKWR. He has a great show called Visions in Sound. He does movie and video game soundtracks. I keep losing my connection here. And the guy that's on before him, I think his name's Psychedelic Pete. He does a neat show on psychedelic rock, and I enjoy that. You can enjoy Overload too. Man, I don't mean to ignore anybody. Where are these questions that I'm missing that you're talking to me about? I see his comment that they're dog shit. Sloan are just okay. We'll never hate them, but meh, just meh. Eric Litwiller, Sloan was great in Detroit. All of Navy Blues. And Scott Carson, Sloan, he says he loves Sloan. I know that's not true. I know Scott Carson is being facetious. Have you heard of the Wolf in Peterborough? No, I haven't heard of the Wolf in Peterborough. Need a better setup here. I haven't heard of the Wolf in Peterborough. I assume that that's a rock station. Sounds like it must be. Eric Litwiller, I meant on the monster truck opinion. Eric, I am ignoring all questions to do with monster truck at this point. No comments on monster truck. Nope, no comments. You've already referred to my Motley Crue shirt as a piece of toilet paper. So we're not entertaining you on the monster truck this evening. Sorry, no monster truck. No monster truck. Bison from BC are a cool stoner band. I'm going to Google Bison right now. They look cool. Yeah. I'm on board with that, sure. Monster Truck is douche rock at its finest. I felt I was losing brain cells watching them, says Michael Morwood. I am not going to comment on anything to do with Monster Truck. I'm not. Because you guys just like to shit all over me. So I'm not going to do it. Motley Crue has more merit than Monster Truck. At least they had something to offer, kind of, at one point. Well, you know what? I've said it before and I've said it again. Motley Crue's best album is the 1994 record with John Corabi. Now, you can talk about John Corabi all you want, and this, that, and the other thing. That's a great album. I know Scott Carson has my back on the John Corabi Motley album. I know Deke has my back on the John Corabi Motley album. And as you were. Who else do we have here? We have... Rob Daniels has never heard of Monster Truck. Really? I am surprised. Uncle Meat thinks they sound like Nickelback. How about the Maiden song for Britain? Yeah, I love the Maiden song. Hi, Harrison. Mike was shitting all over virtual lights earlier. That's true. I was. I did make... Actually, it was Eric Litwiller who... He asked me to take a dump all over an album, and I picked that one. Michael says, technical question, why do all recorded drums sound the same processed dog shit nowadays? That's a good question. I've noticed that. Even on the new Aussie. It's Chad Smith on drums, but it sounds really processed, and it doesn't sound like Chad Smith normally sounds. I don't know. It seems to be what's popular, and it is what it is. I'd rather hear good, solid, acoustic drum sound, like in a good classic Zeppelin album, or Deep Purple in rock, or whatever, you know, that's what I'd like to hear. But everything sounds really electronic these days. Okay, we have more John Corabi. Motley is killer. I loved the Scream, yes. We were talking about the Scream earlier. They had a track called Young and Dumb. Then they're talking about Monster Truck. I'm going to ignore the Monster Truck comments. More comments about the Iron Maiden album that I took a dump all over, which was this one. It's a live bootleg with Blaze Bayley on lead vocals. There's Blaze Bayley right there. Now, unlike John Corabi, I don't feel Maiden hit a new peak with their new singer. Motley did. Maiden did not. Sebastian Xavier Mounier says that those drum sounds are because they all use samples. And I think that's probably true. They probably just use triggered samples in these big budget studio recordings. Harrison Kopp says, "My precious! My precious!" Harrison Kopp loves Blaze Bayley. And there's nothing wrong with Blaze, as Michael Morwood says. There's nothing wrong with Blaze. If you're a Blaze Bayley fan, God bless you. But they did not hit a new peak with Blaze. I think Motley Crue hit a new peak with the Motley Crue Corabi collaboration. I really do. I really honestly feel that they hit a new peak with that album. I cannot say the same for Iron Maiden with Blaze Bayley. What Seb said, it's all triggered drum samples. Yep, correct. Triggers. Michael M. is a good man. You guys are all good men. You're all good. I hope I'm keeping you entertained on this Saturday night. I might have to refresh my drink here. This is getting kind of flat. Weird things that happen when you are high, says Eric Litwiller in response to Tyler Weber and that ongoing conversation about Monster Truck that I refuse to acknowledge. Okay, Michael, good question, because this is a controversial band, Greta Van Fleet. There are several people in this discussion here that are not Greta Van Fleet fans. I have all the Greta Van Fleet CDs. I like them. I think the singer makes the band in that case. I think he's fantastic. I think they're a young band that still have a lot of room to grow. But there are a few people here that are going to disagree with me and call it manufactured crapola. Michael Morwood, there you go. You just did. No, sir, they are not. So, this is one of those bands that we're going to have some disagreements about. Tyler Weber likes Greta. Who the fuck cares? I'm going to put that on a like. Oh shit, no. I don't want to block Tyler Weber. How the fuck do I put a like on this? There we go. I have to agree with Maxiax Jr. I could go on, but I don't want to offend. Now, yeah, let's keep it light. Let's keep it light. I need to refresh my drink. Back in a moment. I like them too. Actually, very talented musicians. Yeah, I like them. Pomegranate. Pomegranate. Scott Carson, do you guys have pomegranate soda in Scotland? Michael Morwood. Yeah, they have talent. They just bother me. It feels cheap. Michael, I think those guys, they're young. They're impressionable. They haven't found their core sound yet. They obviously love Led Zeppelin. if you're going to steal from another band, may as well make it Led Zeppelin. I think you will see Greta Van Fleet continue to grow in the coming years. I hope we do. I hope they don't stagnate and just keep doing the same album over and over and over again. Tyler Weber, what young band do you really think has the most potential to break big? I don't know. That's a tough question. What breaks big these days? What is it that breaks big? It's usually something that just happens by circumstance now. It's usually just something that happens to go viral. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. The next big band will be a band that has some kind of new, fresh gimmick that they can exploit on the internet. Eric Litwiller, the singer of Greta Van Fleet, looks like Tyler Weber. That's why he likes them. Yep, it's true. When's the last time you had a Schweppes ginger ale? I don't know. A long time. A couple of years. I'm putting a like on that one. A couple of years for sure, but pomegranate. Michael Morwood says Crownlands are the next big band to break big. Harrison Kopp says, at the very least, Greta Van Fleet are keeping Led Zeppelin in people's minds every time there's a discussion about them. Good point. And there's nothing wrong with keeping Led Zeppelin in people's minds. In my opinion, Led Zeppelin are one of the greatest bands of all time. I know not everybody agrees with me on that. There's when you find a Led Zeppelin hater, they really hate Led Zeppelin. Michael says, way better than Canada Dry. Hate to say it. True, but what's the one? There's one ginger ale that's really, it's strong. I can't remember the name of it. There's one that I really like. It's really strong. It's really gingery. The name is escaped. Verner's ginger ale. Really strong, really gingery. I love it. It's like drinking soup. Eric Litwiller says, I hear that argument. That's the only thing I can say that Greta Van Fleet are good for, which is fine. Chris Toos or Tuss? I'm not sure. How do you pronounce your name, Chris? You're going to have to leave it in the comments below. When was the last time you stole one of Jen's frescas? I would say 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago was the last time. And Michael Morwood, it's Verner's. Yes, Verner's is awesome, isn't it? Verner's is the name. And Michael says, Zepp is #1, bro, always. Yeah, in the last live stream, Scott Carson asked me what my favorite box set was. And I grabbed my Led Zeppelin, the original 4-disc 1990 box set. Because I was late getting into Led Zeppelin, and that was my beginning, was the 1990 box set, the 4-disc. And I love it. I still love it. I can listen to that thing from start to finish. The Christmas that I got that box set, I probably played the entire 5-hour set in a row 3 times. And I've been a Zeppelin fan ever since. Fresca is underrated, says Michael Morwood. Yes, it is underrated. For all the diet beverages, it's the one that has the least aspartame kind of bite. Sebastian Xavier Munier says to Michael Morwood, attaboy. I'm assuming that's about Verner's. Tyler Weber, what's a band you didn't like until many years later? Oh, so many! So many! Led Zeppelin are one. Like, when I was first discovering rock in, like, 84, 85, I wouldn't give Led Zeppelin the time of day. I saw the Much Music played a video for Dazed and Confused, and the lead singer's wearing sandals. You know? Sandals. This was 1984. I don't want to see a lead singer wearing sandals. I hated Led Zeppelin. Until 1990's box set came out, and I completely changed my world forever. Eric Litwiller, I watched Thor Ragnarok last night for For the first time, I noticed how fucking kick-ass that bass line is in the Immigrant Song. Boom, ba-da-doo-doo, ba-boom, ba-da-doo-doo, ba-boom, ba-da-doo-doo, ba-boom, ba-da-doo-doo. John Paul Jones is the secret ingredient. He rules over No Quarter, which is one of my favorite Zepp tunes. And we were talking about No Quarter this morning as well. A song that I just didn't really get the first 2 times maybe that I played it, and then suddenly clicked with me, and I realized it's... No Quarter is incredible. Harrison Kopp, what live shows would you like to see in Hypothetical Eddie's Archive 2? Easy question. A show from the tour where Maiden only played songs from the first 4 albums. The name of the tour is escaping me. But that tour where they only played songs from the first 4 albums, and a Blaze Bayley show. Michael, one band getting better and better. Tool, thoughts? I think you'll find a lot of people agree with you there. We were talking about Tool a bit last night. I don't think I appreciate Tool as much as some of the other guys here. I think Maynard may kind of throw me for a loop. But, I mean, there's no question that Tool have lost nothing. Absolutely nothing. They just keep going and not going down. Not going down at all. Becky got me Quebec maple syrup Coca-Cola? What? Quebec maple syrup Coca-Cola? You are shitting me. You are shitting me. Quebec maple syrup Coca-Cola. Okay. When this is all over, when this coronavirus is done, we are getting me some Quebec maple syrup Coca-Cola. However it takes, we are going to get it. Tyler Weber, all bass in Zeppelin is underappreciated. Harrison Kopp, the Early Days tour. That's correct. Early Days tour. I want a bootleg of, I want a live document of that, an official live document of the Maiden Early Days tour. Closing the window, getting a little cold. No Quarter on The Song Remains the Same is devastating. Yes, it is. It is devastating. That's insane. A little bit longer. And Eric Litwiller is totally on board with that statement. No Quarter on The Song Remains the Same is devastating. But only the original version, not the reissue one. I guess because there's a remix done on the reissued Song That Remains the Same. I haven't done a comparison between the two, but I do have both. I have an original Song Remains the Same 2 CD set, and a reissue Song Remains the Same remixed with bonus tracks. I've got them both. Eric Litwiller, Coke is too syrupy already, remember? What's the point? Just dump actual Coke on the goddamn pancakes. That's not the point, man. It's not the point. I have to try it. I have to try that maple syrup Coke that he's talking about, that you can get in Quebec. Count on Quebec to come up with that, eh? And Eric finds, Sebastianos finds that funny. Michael Moore, would ever listen to any Jack White stuff? Yeah, man. I have some of his stuff here. I've got, you know that one Crazy album he did? The Ultra LP? The one where one side plays forwards, the other side plays backwards. He had tracks under the groove. He had tracks, a double groove on one side. He had a hologram on one side. You know that record? I got that record. It's great. I love the Raconteurs. I love Poor Kid Blues, I believe is the name of the song. I've got some White Stripes. Yes, so, yeah, I got some Jack White. Harrison Kopp. Reissue also cut some of the keyboard solo. That's surprising. Different shows, I believe. That's surprising. Well, that's surprising, Harrison. I'm glad I have both copies. Apparently, the Song Remains the Same reissue might be completely different versions of the song than the original soundtrack CD. Might be something I have to research for an upcoming review. Eric Litwiller, Consolers of the Lonely by the Raconteurs is one of the best albums of the last 20 years. It's a bold statement, but I'm not going to argue with you because it's probably true. That's a great, great, great album. Tyler Weber, what's a live version that's way better than the studio? I can't stand Bare Naked Ladies' Brian Wilson if it's not live. Has to be live. Probably not the greatest example, bud, but I'm going to go with The Green Man Alishi by Judas Priest. And that's nothing against the Hellbent for Leather album. But when they played it live on Unleashed in the East, it just became something else. It became something just another level. Sebastian Xavier, Jack White owns a record printing plant in Detroit, I think. Yes, Third Man Records. That's 100% true. Rob Daniels, good. Triumph's Rock and Roll Machine is better live. Yes, it is. It is better live. Of course, that one has the big extended solo. But, you know, Triumph's Stages album is a fantastic live album. I'm prepared for Eric Litwiller to shit all over me for saying this, but I really love the Triumph Stages album. I think it's fantastic. I think it's, is it one of my top 10 live albums of all time? It might be. It might be. Harrison Kopp says Pat Benatar in response to... I'm losing track of some comments here. They're flying. Just did a tour of it when I went to see Sloan. Michael Morwood says he's been to Third Man Records in Detroit. That's cool, man. I know they have a lot of stuff that you can only buy there. So I hope you... I'll put a like on that. I hope you bought something there at Third Man Records. I know I would if I was there. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Eric Litwiller, why would I? It's a fucking classic, says Eric Litwiller. Okay, good. I'm glad. You're not going to shit all over me for that. I'm glad. Thank you. I thought you would shit all over me for that, honestly. I can never honestly tell when you're going to shit all over me for my musical tastes. Rob Daniel says, I had Stages on cassette. Funny thing is only the cassette and the vinyl have the full concert. The CD does not. CD is missing stuff. Triumph Just a Game is excellent, says Tyler Weber. Album cover is super cool too. Yes. Game inside the cover. One of the squares is got your manager laid. Move ahead 3 squares. I guess I need to get Just a Game on vinyl, because on CD you don't get, you know, you don't get the full effect. So maybe I will add Triumph Just a Game to my vinyl collection when this crisis is all over and done with, and we can actually buy records again. That's cool. Thanks for that info, Tyler Weber. Let's see if there's any other people out there we can invite. I don't think so. I think I've invited everybody. We'll keep trying, though. Okay, taking a quick break here. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Okay, what do we got going on? Michael Morwood, you see they casted Ahsoka for season 2 of Mando. Yes, Michael, I thought that was just a rumor at this point. Rosario Dawson. Is it just a rumor or is that confirmed? Triumph Allied Forces. Ridiculous amazing. Yep. Yep, absolutely. Allied Forces. Man, I love early Triumph. Who is the best looking girly man hair metal musician in my collection? I'm going to go with Kip Winger. Absolutely no arguing Kip Winger's best. His look. I mean, come on. The guy's an Adonis. Eric Litwiller. I saw the Allied Forces tour at the Center in the Square, which is in Kitchener, with his dad when he was 12 years old. That's really cool. Harrison Kopp. In regards to TSRTS reissue, Song remains the same. Some songs are longer on the original release. So yes, some stuff was cut from No Quarter. That's a bummer, man. Well, I'm glad I kept both versions. Michael Morwood says the casting of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian Season 2 is confirmed. Confirmed! Confirmed! Thank you, Michael. That's exciting. I got to go on my Disney Plus and watch the latest episode of Clone Wars. They're up to episode 5, and Ahsoka Tano has returned. So maybe we'll get some continuity now between where she is at the end of the Clone Wars and where she ends up in Rebels. And now we know she survived the Galactic Civil War and she's in Mando. Interesting. Michael says, what's your first true rock show? Kiss Dynasty Tour when I was 11 years old and went with my mom. Wow, that's cool. Michael, unfortunately, many years after the Kiss Dynasty Tour, it was 1987, and it was Helix on the Wild in the Streets tour. They were coming home to headline, and my best friend Bob Shipper and I got seats front row of the mezzanine, and they were opened up by Haywire from Prince Edward Island, and we hated Haywire, but Helix came out. They did an awesome set, and then Volmer starts climbing the amps onto the balcony, goes all the way around the entire mezzanine, and climbs back down again to the stage. And I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. Brian Volmer is undoubtedly one of the best frontmen I've ever seen. He's fantastic. So yeah, Helix was my first true rock show. No comparison with Kiss Dynasty Tour though. Holy crap. Rob Daniels, I like Triumph Surveillance. You know what? It has its moments. There's some good stuff on there. I think the album's a little stuffy. You can tell that they were sort of at the end of their creative ropes. But it's got some good moments on there. On and On It Goes. Let the Light Shine on Me. Some good songs. Cinderella's bass player for Hair. Oh, yeah. Eric Brittingham. When he had the blonde, spiky do. Yes. Eric Litwiller. Yeah, Kip Winger is pretty goddamn hot. Rob Daniels. Awesome news about Ahsoka. And then, yeah, Rosario Dawson is playing Ahsoka Tano. She survived... Rob, she survived Order 66. She's in Star Wars Rebels. She shows up. She's their secret contact Fulcrum in Star Wars Rebels. So, yeah, she survived Order 66. But now we know she also survived the Galactic Civil War. Michael Morwood, she's also dead in the current universe, though. She was a Jedi. That's true. Michael Morwood brings up a good point. She was a voice in The Rise of Skywalker at the end, meaning she died. So Rosario Dawson may play a dead Ahsoka Tano, maybe. Who knows? Or she might die in Mando Season 2. Good point, Michael Morwood. Great observation. Eric Litwiller, new show Briar Patch is awesome. Rosario Dawson is hotter than the steam. Okay, I'm going to read this out loud. Rosario Dawson is hotter than the steam coming off of my piss. Plus, so it's easy. I liked Rebels. I'm a fan. Yep. I'm a fan. A little more kiddie-oriented than I like my Star Wars to be, but connection. Having a faulty connection here. It's a little bit more kiddie than I like my Star Wars to be, but Rebels really hit a lot of sweet spots for me. A lot of stuff that you and I remember from like comic books and toys and things like that, they end up showing up in Rebels, and I really appreciated that. What else we got going on, my peeps? Chris Toos or Chris Tuss? How do you pronounce your name, man? Are you ever gonna answer my question? How you pronounce your name? It's an inside joke. Just scrolling through Facebook and seeing what's going on here. Oh, you asshole. Eric Litwiller. What is worse, Star Trek V or The Last Jedi? Dude, nothing is worse than Star Trek V. I was so disappointed with Star Trek V. Rob Daniels, I really want you to chime in on Star Trek V. For those of you who don't know, they had a deal with Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. I believe it was called the Favored Nations Clause or something like that. Leonard Nimoy has already directed, at this point in his career, 2 Star Trek movies. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Star Trek III... No, sorry. Got that wrong. Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. Big hits. William Shatner says, hey, we're equal, me and Nimoy, and I get to direct the movie now. So they said, okay, William Shatner, you can direct Star Trek V. And William Shatner says, great, this is the movie where Kirk is going to go look for God. What are Star Wars stickers and cards from the 80s worth now, Michael? That's a good question. I still have my original set of Empire Strikes Back cards from the 80s, and I don't know what they're worth. Mine were a little water damaged, but I think we managed to replace all the water damaged ones and make like a complete set. But I've never looked into selling them. To be honest with you, I get too much joy out of going through them still every once in a while and remembering. There was always one card, you know, that you couldn't find, you couldn't trade for it, you couldn't get it anywhere. And it's fun to relive those memories. Star Trek V was a betrayal, says Rob Daniels. That's one way of putting it. Gene Roddenberry liked to pretend that Star Trek V didn't exist. He liked to pretend it didn't happen. That's true. Burp. Eric Litwiller, the first rock climbing scene. The fakest looking rock of all time. Yeah. No surprise there, but that was a fake wall that they built. And it looks like it. It does not look anything like real rock. It has like a glossy shine to it as if it's been varnished. Chris Alderton, 1 roll of toilet paper. Good for you, man. I'm glad you have 1 roll of toilet paper. Chris Alderton is in the house. The Lamb-Lord. The Lamb-Lord is in the house. How are you doing, Chris Alderton? I hope you're doing well. Chris Thuss, or Toos. Can't remember how you pronounce his name. Ha ha ha, that is another running joke when I used to work with him. One of the VPs that we worked with, on and off for 10 years, could never pronounce his last name correctly. That's true. that was bizarre. This guy just could not ever pronounce Chris Thuss's name correctly. So yeah, we got Chris Alderton in the house. I hope you're doing well, Chris Alderton. Robert Daniels, ILM did not do the effects on Star Trek V. Yeah. Yeah. And you can tell. Oh, sorry, Eric Litwiller, sorry. Yes, you're right. It is not the Lamb-Lord. He is the Lamb-Lad. He's the... My mistake. My mistake. My mistake. Chris Alderton's... Oh, I get it. Chris Alderton says, that's what my Star Wars cards are worth. 1 roll of toilet paper. Which is worth more than a barrel of oil at this point. It is 10:38 at night, and I'm getting hungry for a late night snack. Chris Alderton is doing good, and he is surviving. That's excellent to hear, buddy. Keep at it. And Robert Daniels says regarding ILM not doing the special effects on Star Trek V, he's saying, it shows. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Did they not... they had to cut the budget in that film by like half. And William Shatner wanted all these rock monsters to appear at the end of the film. And it started with 6 rock monsters. And then it turned to 2 rock monsters. And then it got cut further to 1 rock monster. And then the rock monster itself got cut because it was so awful. It just couldn't make it work. And I'm not really 100% sure why rock monsters are something we need to be afraid of when we have phasers. not really. Star Trek V is a really problematic film. I know some of the actors have heavily criticized Star Trek V and the way it kind of made fun of some of the characters. Like Scotty, for example, saying, "Aye, Captain, I know this ship like the back of me hand," and then he takes a beam right to the forehead as he bumps into it. It's not a good movie, Star Trek V. It's not, but it does have some good character moments in it. I like the fire scene. I like the row your boat scene. I think that's a nice character scene. Although they later betrayed that scene because Shatner says in that scene, "I've always known I'll die alone." And 5 years later, Star Trek Generations, Shatner dies with Captain Picard by his side. "I've always known I'll die alone." No. What he should have said was, "I've always known I'll die with a bald British man at my side." That would have been more accurate. Gas, 71 cents. Yes, true. Poured some ice cream over some pizza tonight? What is that? What is that? Ice cream over some pizza? What is that? What is that? Transformers are gayer than Andy Dick's dick. Thank you, Rob, Eric. That's wonderful. Rob Daniels, they parodied the rock creature in Galaxy Quest. Yes, they did. Harrison Kopp, geological rock monsters or musical rock monsters? The geological kind. The geological kind. Eric Litwiller. Oh my God, it's Justin. Hi, Daddy-O. Who's he talking to? Justin. I don't know what he's talking about there. Rob Daniels. 5 tried to be funny like 4, but failed. Yes, it did. It did. Has William Shatner ever directed a movie again? I'm curious. William Shatner filmography. I am curious if he has ever directed another film. He directed something called Groom Lake in 2002. It went straight to video, I think. He directed something called, The Captains. That was a documentary. Yes, okay. That was good. The Captains was good. It's a great documentary. He interviewed all the captains of Star Trek. Patrick Stewart, Avery Brooks, Scott Bakula, Chris Pine, and Kate Mulgrew. Great movie. And the less said about Uhura's dance, the better. Hello, boys. I've always wanted to dance for a captive audience. But Rob, regarding Uhura's dance, at least they gave her something to do in the movie. I felt really bad for Nichelle Nichols in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, because she's the only character that didn't go on the mission with the guys. She stayed behind on the starbase while the guys went on to the adventure on the Enterprise to planet Genesis. And then Nichelle Nichols shows up again when they return to Vulcan at the end of the film. But I felt really bad for her that she disappeared halfway through the movie. At least Scotty and Sulu had some moments in Star Trek 3, but poor Nichelle Nichols. Short change there. Chris Toos. Did he shat on that movie too? At least he lived up to his name. Tell you something about Shatner. He's a bit of an asshole on Twitter. I follow him on Twitter, and he is a bit of an asshole. I had a burp here, and whatever. Robert Daniels says, very true. Well, I think all the cast members of Star Trek kind of got their own short changing in the films. But I always liked that Sulu had that one moment in Star Trek 3, you know, don't call me tiny. You know the scene. Don't call me tiny. And Scotty, of course, had the scene where he sabotages the USS Excelsior's transwarp drive. Here, Captain, a gift from one doctor. You know, that was a great scene. And Star Trek 4, they all had a little bit more to do. But I think all the actors have felt very shortchanged over the years, and it's unfortunate, but they all seem to blame it on Shatner. Robert Daniels. Uhura did have a badass moment with Mr. Yes, she had the one scene with Mr. Adventure, but she didn't get to go on the adventure. So sad. She wasn't there when the Enterprise went down. It was so sad. So sad. In Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, yeah. And we talked about the Enterprise going down in Star Trek Beyond and how it wasn't earned. The Enterprise just didn't have the mileage. The reboot Enterprise in Star Trek Beyond, it didn't have the mileage that the original Enterprise had. And we'd spent years... Fucking hell! Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, camera. We didn't have the emotional attachment with the reboot Enterprise when they killed it off in Star Trek Beyond. They killed it off prematurely. At least everyone gets a moment in 3. Yeah, that's true. They all did get a moment. I thought 3 was one of the finest movies for DeForest Kelley. Truly a great actor. I just watched the original series episode today, The Devil in the Dark. The one with the Horta. And DeForest Kelley was fantastic in that movie. My God, Jim, I've come to think that I can cure a rainy day. He's great. And I watched last week what's it called? This Side of Paradise, the one with the plants with the spores that make you all peaceful and calm and want to stay on that planet. And Dr. McCoy reverted back to his Georgia boy accent in that episode, and it was fantastic. DeForest Kelley, man, he was great. The original Dr. McCoy, fantastic. Oh, fucking hell. Well, you know what, guys? I might call it a night here. I don't know how long I've been on, but I'm hungry. I'm going to get a bite to eat and maybe watch some Netflix, maybe watch some YouTube. But, you know, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I've been having a lot of fun doing this. It's too bad that this is how we have to socialize these days, but we will do what we got to do to get through this as quickly as possible, right? So, thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. I'm going to take a break. This has been a blast, and as David Lee Roth says, it ain't no fucking good without an audience. Rock and roll. Have a great night, guys.